Okay, so we're taking a look here. I am on Gabe Anch's bike here. This is a Kayo that has the modified fork lugs, and it also has the upgraded front brakes. So the purpose we have in front of us here is to see if this bike chatters the way the other Kayos do. Make sure it's in neutral here. Okay. Oh, I killed the engine. Warming it up. GP shift. Wow, that shift pedal is very, very high. Relative for me. Okay, so we'll take some audio notes as we go out here. Boy, that's a cold-blooded beast. Okay, Gabe rode this one session, so this is a 0 miles bike, essentially. So that means the tires aren't fully warmed up. Wow, you know, the tires feel very different. Profile. The handling is noticeably different. Taking it easy here. No chatter, but we're going pretty slow. This motor's taking a little while to warm up here. It's kind of surging. That's what the first lap is for, is just warm up. Get up to temp, start running normal, warm the tires up. The other thing to think about here is the brakes, brake pads. Probably not seated yet. And the other thing I'm noticing right now, you aren't watching this video if you're watching this video, the chain is hitting my boot heel as I ride along. The thing I think Gabe is noticing on my bike, he's out there on the track right now, is how different the ergonomics are. I'm noticing the brake lever's kind of high relative to what I'm used to. And the other thing I should have mentioned to him is my brake lever's adjustable. So it is something you could change to fit whoever needs it. So far, I'm not doing anything terribly significant here. Oh, I should turn on Gabe's lap timer. Wow, this bike knifes into that corner with no effort. Granted, I am not up to pace at this point, and I should put my visor down. But this bike is so much more neutral handling. This is easily the best Kayo I have run. Easily. So what are the differences? This bike has the fork lug that's changed the trail. It has upgraded front brakes. And it also has different tires. And I think as far as handling goes, it's probably the tires as much as anything. The fact that this bike is not fighting me to go around a corner, it just bends into the turn. It feels much more like my NSR. I am still taking it easy at this point. These tires are new. Oh, I blew that corner. Yeah, that thing just holds the corner. On other bikes, when I get on the throttle, the bike starts to stand up. You can learn to ride that way. But this bike, when I get in a corner and I make throttle changes, it holds its line. It's not necessarily good or bad, but man, it feels so much more like my NSR. And start scrubbing those tires in. Oh, I just ran over the curb. Just ran over the curb again. Why did that happen? Okay. The reason that just happened is Gabe has a fair bit of slack in his throttle cable. So I'm going from closed throttle to picking it up and taking out the slack and then getting on the gas. Wow, it's gusty out here. Wind, wind, wind. But anyway, when I pick up the throttle, I gotta take that slack out, and if I don't do it quick enough, I'm still slowing down and I go right off the inside of the corner. At higher speed, it's not an issue, because you only have a fraction of a second, but when you're going as slow as I'm going, you take too long to pick it up, and there you go, right over the curb. Okay, let's see. I think ergonomically, I don't like the clutch or brake lever where it is. It's really high up, but personal preference. It also feels really tiny. The lever's very thin. It feels like pulling on a chicken bone. Wow, brake pads, that's probably the hardest I've tried stopping in that corner. Did not work so well. Kind of got my finger trapped between the lever. What I think that is brand new brake pads are not worn in. Felt a little numb, and that's the pads. Have not got up to temp, embedded in yet. So make a mental note, that is something that will improve with time. I think the bike is a little rich on the bottom end. Coming through that corner, I had the throttle closed, but it was still wanting to accelerate a little bit. The idle might be a little too high, perhaps. I wasn't able to get off the throttle there in the corner. I hate to go through a corner and have to apply brakes to slow the bike down because the throttle's still open. Or, Michael, you could just go faster. Then it won't matter. Okay, Garrett. This is an MR125. The other bike's a 150. Look at that tack, it's doing the weirdness. The tack weirdness, what does that mean? That means when the engine is accelerating, the tack is actually going in the opposite direction and going back down. I've seen that on our endurance bike. Don't know if Claudio's bike does it or not. Brian up ahead there, riding my Grom. Stock Grom. He's getting the experience of the stock Ford. The good news is he doesn't have any basis for comparison, so he probably doesn't realize just how bad it truly is. I'm going to make this the last lap since everybody's heading in. I could keep riding, but I also want to keep this video short so you don't have to listen to 20 minutes of me. Comments I have, this bike does not chatter. Just isn't doing it. Whether I rode it slow, hard, any of these corners here, not feeling it. Nobody else is on track, but that's the takeaway from this ride. Number one for the rest of the team, no brake chatter. So at this point, the common factor is the fork lugs. Thanks, Gabe. Whew. Thank you for the ride.